Devender Rana, who's Provincial President of the National Conference of J&K, General S Jaswal, former Army Commander of the Northern Command, Mahesh Jethmalani, Senior Advocate, and K Singh is a Member of Parliament of the Lok Sabha from the BJP and a former Home Secretary of India. And from the Pakistani side, we have General Rashid Qureshi, former spokesperson to Musharraf, Reham Khan, who's a senior journalist, and Brigadier Yasub Dogar, defense analyst. General Qureshi, look at it very logically. You now must prepare to get pulverized. We are not even going to have a flag meeting with you. And the decision has been taken to inflict so much damage, so much relentless damage on Pakistani positions till you learn a lesson. You are now calling for a flag meeting, and we have said no to a flag meeting because we have realized that there is no point in playing into your game, and that the only response to the Pakistanis is a response where the pain of your actions is so much on you that you don't repeat these actions again. You won't be able to hold out, General Qureshi. You know the weaknesses of your own military. Your sly tactics will not work. Internationally, you are a joke. Nobody's taking you seriously. So, how long will you hold out, and what will you do now?
Is that a question, Arnab?
Yes, sir. That question is to you, sir.
Okay. Now then, first of all, I want you to understand that if you asked a question, let me answer it first, and then you can put further questions.
Sir, you are responding like the Pakistani army on the defensive. Why don't you just answer the question?
Your problem is that you come briefed from your intelligence agencies on an issue that you know nothing about. I've served 8 years on the line of control and the working boundary.
And I have
know
some
exactly
pictures
where it runs.
I have some pictures of the mortar shells that were fired by your army with Pakistani army shellings. I know enough about this.
Arnab, your problem is...
I know enough about this. You can see these pictures.
You ask a question and you start answering it yourself according to what the RAW has briefed you.
These are Pakistani army shells.
We will not resolve issues this way.
You see, you tried firing these shells.
We will not be resolving issues.
You tried firing these shells. These shells were fired by you, sir.
Pakistan. I can say the same, and that will end the argument.
So what you expected?
So that's not where we are going to go any place.
Sir, you're not going to go anywhere because you failed. Sir, you know, General Qureshi, the government changed in between. Manmohan Singh is no longer the Prime Minister. Now you have a new government, and the political decision has been taken, General Qureshi, of making you hurt. You must now prepare to be hurt. And you know today what has happened. You know that the Indian army retaliation.
What you're saying.
So can you honestly? Why don't you honestly tell the people of India how much
internationally?
Why don't you tell the people of India
to hurt Pakistan?
Yes, we want.
You must stand up and have the courage and the character to say yes, we wanted to hurt Pakistan.
Yes, we are hurting you back.
The issue is not this.
Yes, sir. We have the courage and the character to say this.
Okay.
And let me tell you this, sir. Government spokesperson after government spokesperson. Everyone from the Indian government side is now of the view that you must be made to pay.
We are not. First of all, okay. We'll come to that too. But let me first give you a slight brief on the working boundary and the line of control. At 90% of the places on the working boundary and the line of control, India and Indian troops, which far outnumber Pakistani troops.
We know we outnumber you.
Are at higher ground.
Yes, we are. That's why we can make you hurt. Now you see a political... No, sir, General Qureshi, please look at it logically. You've served with Musharraf. You've served with Musharraf. You know what happens when politicians decide. No, when politicians...
So hold on.
No, you hold on, sir.
Therefore, Arnab, do you think we are mad to start a firefight where we will get hurt?
Yeah.
Isn't it ridiculous?
Yeah.
Is this not illogical?
Yes.
So therefore, you must understand, despite your briefings, it is Indian troops that start firing.
Right.
Why do they do that?
Right.
We can come to that later.
Okay. So now, just
but Indian
why
troops
don't you
start
hear it?
firing,
Why
and
don't
Pakistan
So why don't you hear it from some of our
Number
other
two,
Indian participants?
If you remember,
Sir, I'll tell you what.
if you remember, during
Okay.
President Musharraf's time, it was Pakistan that suggested, let's not fire at each other. And for a long period of time, there was no firing on the line of control or the working boundary.
And
now that was Pakistan's suggestion.
I'll tell you, sir.
Now
I'll tell
if
you
you are
something.
listening,
So
and if you continue to listen, you will come to the conclusion that India finds it awkward when there is peace on the line of control and the working boundary, and the world is calling for talks between India and Pakistan or a UN-sponsored solution.
Which world?
India finds it very difficult to back out of that. Now,
which world is calling for talks between India and Pakistan? Which world?
Look,
the whole world has said
in the United States with two American experts.
So I don't think even the Nicaraguan, delegation was listening to Nawaz Sharif and the United Nations. But anyway, sir, I just want 1 minute, sir. You use 1 minute, sir. I'll open up the debate now. Now, please listen to me, sir. You use 2 words, mad and illogical.
You don't want to listen.
Now, 1 second. No, I listen to you. I listen to you, but you hear today General Qureshi. General Qureshi, the time has come for you to not just be heard, but also to listen. You use 2 adjectives there, mad and illogical. I'll say 2 things to you, sir. It was mad and illogical to patronize Osama bin Laden, build a castle for him and keep him there, but you did that. You see, Pakistanis have done mad and illogical things many times.
There is no,
1 second. No, 1 minute.
You are wrong.
No, 1 second.
You, as usual, know nothing of the facts.
So he came in,
the case.
he built a house for himself and you never knew. That's also possible. Maybe you want the world to believe that. I want you to hear the voice from Srinagar first. Sir, 8 minutes. Aap sun lijiye dusra. You hear the other point of view.
India blew up 1,000 people in a train under Narendra Modi.
I am telling you.
And you say that he is not responsible?
Today why you are worried.
India had no idea what happened in Mumbai. Were you sleeping? Yes, there are issues that happen in the United States.
What happened in Mumbai? What happened in Mumbai? What are you bragging about 2611 on the program, sir?
Went into the trade center.
General Qureshi, are you bragging about 2611?
So
will you bring it down to this? Will you remember that this great country called India had the patience not to pulverize you even after 2611? But the government since then has changed. You continue these tactics, you prepare to be pulverized. I want to ask you today, why is GeoTV being censored? Why has your media been censored? Why has the ISI told the media not to report the casualties on the Pakistani side? If you have the courage today, tell the people of Pakistan how many Pakistani soldiers have been killed by Indian forces in the retaliatory actions in the last 24 hours. Have the courage to say, don't do what you did in Kargil. General Qureshi, don't do what you did in Kargil. In Kargil, you were the military advisor of Musharraf. You should remember Kargil. You should know what we did to you in Kargil. Yes, we took casualties, but we pushed you back. We taught you a lesson in a 50-day war. Why do you want to repeat that? Why do you want to repeat Kargil? Why do you want to repeat Kargil? You must be careful, sir. You are being damaged and your media is being censored by your own government. I'd now like to go across to Devender Rana from Srinagar today.
I'm not doing
Hear the voice of Jammu and Kashmir. Hear Devender Rana from Jammu and Kashmir. He's talking to you from Srinagar. Before we open up to others, Devender Rana, it's over to you.
It's a very serious situation on the international border and the LOC. Civilians unarmed have been in the line of fire. We are very strong votaries of peace, but the gun has to fall silent before the peace is talked. People are suffering. As and when this situation escalates, it is the people of Jammu and Kashmir on the line of control and the international border who have to take the brunt. Thousands of people have migrated. The state government has created a host of relief camps for them. They have left their homes and hearths, and they're living in those relief camps. And their pain is to be seen, to be believed. You have to be there to understand their pain. They are under distress because it's no good situation for anybody to leave his home and hearth. People are left their belongings, their cattle. The government is also catering for cattle relief camps. It's a very, very serious situation on the line of control and the border, and mostly on the international border since the last couple of days. This is, I'm told, after 1971, such a heavy casualty has happened.
Mr. Rana, Mr. Rana, I like the fact, I like what you're saying today. I observe every word of what you're saying, and maybe it's a lesson for your party also, which was pushing for talks with Pakistan till 3 weeks back. Let's go across to... Let's go. I'll deal with the political part of this later. I'd like to go across to General Jaswal.
We are votaries of talk.
I'd like to...
But the talk can only happen once the guns fall silent.
We are all votaries for talks.
We are not for a war.
We are all votaries for talks. Nobody wants a war, Mr. Rana.
Talk to whom?
Nobody wants a war, but...
Political instability in Pakistan has created a situation that they are frustrated, and for the reason that they did not get the adequate consequence in the United Nations, their frustration and their attrition within different power centers has brought us to a situation where they're probably trying to divert the attention of their own people by firing on us.
Okay, so
General Rashid Qureshi said that the Pakistanis are on the higher side. General Jaswal is on the panel. He will be able to
Devender Rana, I'll come back to
international border.
Mr. Rana, I'll come back to you. Mr. Rana, please
we are on the even ground.
Mr. Rana, please be very clear. Why have the Pakistanis done this for so long? Because they have not got enough of a retaliatory response. Because for a strong retaliatory response that says that we must respond not just in equal but in greater measure, there has to be a strong political will behind it. It appears now there is a strong political will and a decision which has been taken that for every Pakistani action, there must be twice the counter-action on the Pakistanis, so they learn their lesson. My question to General Jaswal is, why are the Pakistanis asking for a flag meeting now? Till 1 week back, they were not interested in a flag meeting. Why are they asking for a flag meeting now, and how should we respond?
Firstly, if we weave all the incidents, the narrative which emerges, the reason firstly why they are shelling this place, more so in the IB sector, the whole aim is to legitimize their concept of working boundary, which they have been trying to raise in the UNGA itself. Secondly, what Devender Rana ji had said, that there is internal strife in Pakistan. And like in India, if there is any agenda against Pakistan, the whole nation rallies. Similarly, if they bring a strife on the border, the whole of Pakistan rallies together towards India, against India, and therefore the internal dynamics which are emerging, they get diminished. Now, why are they asking for a flag meeting? Let me tell you, when I was also in Northern Command, that time my concept was very clear. They fire, we are going to fire prohibitive fire on them. And every time when we brought in prohibitive fire, they used to come out with the white flag, and we used to tell them, don't try this again. I don't want to name the picket, wherein I've seen it personally. They came with the white flag. 3 months they kept quiet. Otherwise, they were causing constant casualty on us. Again, they did after 3 months, we pulverized them. Till the time my tenure was there, nothing happened.
No, so what is the solution now? What is the solution now to
punished,
this? General,
yes, once they are punished.
What is the solution now, and to what extent should we punish them, and how?
The problem with Pakistani troops on the border is that till the time they are not pulverized well and proper continuously for a period, they again emerge and again start this. We should not talk to them. We should not listen to their white flag raising, etc. Let the DJMOs talk. I don't think that is also right.
Okay.
A scenario will emerge. Thereafter, the DJMOs can talk. But as of now, for having hurt our civilians, there needs to be pulverized. But I would again reiterate, we must pulverize only military targets. Unlike these people, they get onto civilian target. Why they are not showing their side of TV? Because the damage is only on the military targets. It
because there is no civilian
target.
there is no civilian damage on the Pakistani side. That's you are absolutely you are absolutely correct.
I'm telling you with conviction.
There is
The
no
orders are very clear.
There is no civilian damage on the Pakistani side, which is why they are muzzling the media. Because according to what we've been hearing from Pakistan, there is this whole allegation that your civilians have been killed. Our civilians have been killed. They keep talking about that. Now, can anyone explain to me from the Pakistani side, maybe Brigadier Dogar or Reham can, that explain if this was the case and the damage to civilians was as grave as your government made it out to be, why has the Pakistani government banned the Pakistani media from going into those areas and from filming the damage? Why is your media not being allowed into those areas? Isn't it a fact that as soon as your media goes into these areas, it will deflate every single theory that you have put about the... Let me complete, Reham. It will deflate every theory that you have made about Indian damage to Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. And hence you have banned your media from going into those areas, fearing you will be busted. I mean, why would you censor your media at a time like this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Arnab, are you done? I'm quite actually impressed at the fact that Arnab Goswami has more knowledge about the Pakistani media and perhaps even more than I do, because
you see, people like you, Reham, won't know about it because you're part of the military establishment. You are part of the military establishment that would want to censor the media.
Even so, I'm very impressed with your research.
No, but why don't you answer the question, Reham? Answer the question once. Why is your media not being allowed to go into those areas? Why is your media being muzzled?
You can complete your question, and you can... If your question is going to take 30 minutes of your time, then I will not be able to answer.
No, so you can answer in 30 seconds, but it appears to me you choose not to.
I will... No. Well, if you want me to answer for 30 seconds, I take offense to the fact that I've taken an hour to travel into the show.
Well, I mean, the question is very simple. I'm asking you again. Why is your media being muzzled?
Again, let me answer. Can I answer? If you were on Pakistani media, I assure you that at this moment in time, at the prime time, we have Pakistani shows talking about the line of control and about the violations.
No. Why is your media not being allowed to travel into those areas?
Are being given.
Why is your media? Why has your government banned your media from going into those areas and filming the damage?
No. I suggest if you switch on to 8 o'clock right now, you will find that our media had access. All of us were invited, were chaperoned.
Who? The ISI?
That they wanted to
the ISI was chaperoning you. I didn't know that the media has to be chaperoned. Since when does the media have to be chaperoned? For the sake of Indian viewers. No. Since when does the media have to be chaperoned?
India to know that in the last 3 days, we've had 7 civilians. That is common knowledge. And everyone, we have footage, 8 p.m. on Pakistani TV. In Pakistan, we have the liberty and there is no censor. So I actually have watched Indian TV.
So why were Pakistani channels?
I would urge Pakistani.
Why were Pakistani channels
viewers to switch on from times now to Pakistani vibrant media, where at 8 o'clock we are showing not only Indian journalists, Indian analysts, Indian military being treated with respect, no provocative statements being made, and certainly no journalist or analyst who's working honestly.
Are you sure you're not speaking on behalf of the ISI?
Working for the establishment.
Are you sure you're not speaking on behalf of the ISI?
Somebody who's from your own community and say that I am working for the establishment. Anyhow, coming back to what the points were made.
No, one second. Reham, this is not time for a little speech.
Well,
one second. Reham, I don't want a cute little speech. I want an answer. My answer was this. My question is this. Why is your media not being allowed to travel into those areas and film the damage? Please tell me that.
And my answer is our media is being allowed to film the damage. You will see it again on my show on Friday night also. And it
so we'll wait till Friday night for ISI approved footage on your show to be shown on television. You do a little bit more
research about Reham Khan, and you also do a little bit more research about Pakistani channels. You will find right now, 8 p.m. we are showing footage of Pakistani civilians being hurt. Over 35 civilians being injured. Most of them are young children, and they are on the working border in Sialkot. We are in shock. This has never happened before. And again, I say, why are we asking for a flag meeting? If we were going to be using words like aggression and pulverize our neighbor, we wouldn't be interested in a flag meeting. It is illogical. And also, I find that it is not Pakistan's internal strife. It is the fact that Modi came up with a very huge agenda, and he's finding those expectations that he's given to his public, the mandate that he was voted on, he cannot deliver.
Now,
so
Reham, I request you now, you can go on because I'll reduce your volume if you don't stop. I think you can listen to me. You see, Reham, now calm down. You see, a long answer is not an appropriate answer.
So it's a very good tactic.
A long answer, Reham.
A long question is not an appropriate approach either.
A long answer. One second. Since you've decided not to answer.
A long question with an analysis attached to it is not the appropriate approach either.
Since, I don't know, I've just seen you on television, spoken to you a couple of times. I'll just give you a little bit of advice that, you can go and give a very long answer. You see, you can come prepared. You can come with a prepared speech, or you can come with an extempore response to an extempore question. Now, my question is, I ask you a question. Now you want to answer it with civility.
Research about those people who are being invited to the show. We treat people who come to our shows with a lot of respect.
Ms. Reham, I am treating you with a lot of respect, but at the same time, I am baffled. I am baffled that you are not answering a question. There must be a genuine reason you are not answering the question. That is your compulsion, and let's not get into that. My question is,
I'm known in Pakistan and overseas for making an honest living, for my integrity.
Congratulations for you.
So I don't know what kind of respect.
Congratulations to you, but you will still have to answer my question.
Look it up again.
Congratulations to you for being well known, but you still have to answer my question.
I will never give you an answer that you like.
Well, I mean, I asked you a question 10 times and you're going on and on and on and on and on, and let's now get back to the subject, because I don't want to get into some silly little quarrel with you. My question is very serious. The Foreign Office today, Mahesh Jethmalani of Pakistan, says that there has to be some ethics in the matter. There's this gentleman, Tasneem Aslami, says that there has to be some ethics in the matter, which has been a long problem for the military. Now, I don't know what ethics were at play when Pakistani long-range mortar shelling injured 13 civilians in Jammu and Kashmir today, or what ethics were at play when 8-year-old Ankush was critically injured in the Samba sector, or when 70-year-old Shukuntla Devi was killed along with her daughter-in-law while she was having breakfast this morning. So what we have seen here, Mr. Jethmalani, and we are on a serious point, that we are responding to the Pakistanis, and we are responding strongly at an equal measure. They are muzzling their media. They are trying to ensure that the Pakistani people don't know the kind of damage that the Pakistani army is suffering, and people like Reham can give their own, censored part of the story. But what is the long-term solution to this? To what extent should we continue to damage the Pakistanis? And since they are asking for a flag meeting, what should be our response? To continue to hit their targets till their border positions are hit so badly that they are left weakened for a longer period of time?
I wish that I'd given him a hand.
Yes.
Well, I think, Arnab, as far as the immediate incident is concerned, the Modi government has already set out its doctrine. We are not going to talk to the Pakistanis, no flag meetings, no talks at any level.
That's right.
So long as Pakistan's guns continue to fire, either they silence their guns or we silence their guns for them. This is the only option right now. I don't think there's any ambiguity in the Indian government's position. In the longer run, I think the Pakistani government has tried to test the Modi doctrine, which has been enunciated during the elections, to find out whether that was just electoral bravado or whether he really meant business. I think now they should realize that there are at least 3 red lines drawn. You don't talk to separatists in this country, number 1. We don't talk to you under the shadow of terror, 2. And 3, we don't talk to you under the shadow of a gun. These red lines have now clearly been established, and the Pakistani government will willy-nilly, per force, have to accept this.
So you think it's a matter of time?
And that this is not the...
No, so you think it's a matter of time? They will do a little bit of showmanship. They'll try to do their little PR and put their PR people on TV.
Yes,
but eventually, in a couple of days, they'll have to buckle down.
Yes, their spokespersons and their guests will continue to act with bravado as they are doing right now, and pleading victimhood, as is the wont of the Pakistani establishment every time, whether there's a terrorist attack or there's beheading or there's ceasefire violations. They always plead victimhood. And Arnab, The fact of the matter is whether the Pakistani press is muzzled or it's not muzzled, as Rehan seems to be advocating. The fact of the matter is that the Indian media has proof of civilian casualties as of today. The Pakistani media has no proof of civilian casualties on their side, but perhaps by Friday night it will be manufactured.
Exactly, which is why she said that by Friday night I'll produce it on my program. Well, the question therefore goes to Brigadier Yasub Dogar. Brigadier, the fact is that yesterday there was DGMO level talks for at least 5 minutes on both sides, right? And Pakistan continued to be in denial about their role in violating the ceasefire. Brigadier, tell me, how do you expect India to respond when you continue to attack our civilians, you continue to attack our BSF and army positions, you continue to disrupt the lives and livelihood of our people, and you remain in denial about it? Now, when this DGMO level talk happened yesterday, I think from the Indian side, which happened at 11:30, India said just stop the ceasefire violations and the shelling on both sides can stop. Why is Pakistan not stopping, despite knowing that nobody in the international community today has any shred of interest in internationalization of the Kashmir issue? That's not going to happen. So what is your long-term objective here? Brigadier, what is your long-term objective? If you heard me there, what would the long-term objective be? Is there any long-term objective or just a short-term strategy, Brigadier Dogar, that the Pakistani army has there?
I don't think so. There is any strategy, what you are thinking about. I think it is basically...
No strategy.
Retaliation against each other. And if you recall your Indian Army Chief's statement a few weeks back, in which he had said that we will retaliate with full force. I also think that media is also responsible for not doing its bit. Instead of putting cold water on this thing, they are adding to the fuel. I think so that you need to talk, you need to have a dialogue between two. I recall General Tabaya visiting Pakistan, visiting Lahore in 1960. I recall
Brigadier, it has been said by the Indian government. No, Brigadier, look at it logically. Brigadier, look at it logically.
I remember that General Manik Shah visited.
Brigadier Dogar.
Whatever was happening after the 1971 ceasefire.